Hi. I'm going to let a couple people get into the room. So, those of you who are not watching this live, it'll be about 5 minutes because I am still uploading the photos so that I can give you guys a full, recap. But hey, guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. This is season 3, episode 60, the finale. Y'all, they even bring back Lisa and Stan, and I got pictures of that too. So let me finish uploading. I think I still need to upload John's little segment, and I still also need to upload Marcelino and Brittany because y'all, girl, couldn't do it. She was like, she being me was stressed watching their segment at a certain point. And if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I don't know why it made me so like I do not know why. We all we've grown people, but it was a lot for your girl. It was a lot. It was a lot. Hello to everybody that's in the room. Going ahead and come in. Let me upload this. I just got John and Christiana next, which is not a lot. Barely any makeup right now. This is an impromptu, let's jump on in, Hi, Summer of Dragonfly. Hi, Gaia. I've never seen you before. Welcome. Hard to Know. Welcome. Hey. Hard to Know. Thank you. Emily, good morning. Giselle, Tamika, Michelle, Nakia, hello. Tony has done it again. Okay, still uploading one more group. Let's just get John and Christiana's little segment. There it is. Doot. Only got 5 pictures for their segment. And we're going in. Elaine, Jade, Miriam, Ramsterdam. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, listen, I'm going to ask you guys this because I feel like we're friends. This group of 20 people, we're pretty intimate. We like each other. Y'all be here. Y'all support. I'm really bummed out that my 90 Day Fiance video has it has views. But y'all remember when those videos used to get 28K views and I would have like 4K? I would have 4,000 views by the time I woke up the next day. I woke up today and I don't even have 1,000. So this is my ask. If you guys are a part of any 90 Day Fiance subreddit groups or, I don't know, Facebook groups, can you share my video in your groups? I mean, and if I'm the only person that gives you the 90 Day Fiance tease, so be it. But if you go places, please share the video. Let them know she's back. Let them know she's doing edited recaps. Let them know she puts time and energy into them. And I want to provide you guys quality stuff. And it's harder to do it when I put so much time and energy into it and YouTube doesn't push it out there the way it needs to. I'm not saying it's your fault. It's YouTube's fault. YouTube used to put me in the algorithm and spit me out. And because of the pandemic, I fell off. My fault. But then YouTube also was like, get out of here. And now they don't add me to their algorithm anymore. So the people who used to watch me don't see me anymore. And they're not checking for me, which, it is what it is. But I would just ask that from you guys. But anyways, we are here to talk about Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. And let's jump right into the episode. Okay, so let's just get it over with. Let's talk about these two fools. Okay, so we've got a scene where Lacey and John, I couldn't remember his name, I was going to say Shane. Lacey and John are by the pier having a heart-to-heart because Lacey wants to bring John back into the fold. Now, John, don't forget you guys, is with Julie or Trixie or Tammy, whatever her name is. Don't she look like a Trixie or a Tammy? Anyways, so he's with her and Lacey keeps on reeling him back in, especially after, hi Sierra, especially after, the whole drama going down with Shane and how Shane's now disappeared. They won't really tell us what happens. Word on the street is that he assaulted her dog, and then he also did something else. And so they snatched his parole behind right up and threw him back in. But she won't talk about it. And it's weird, but also like, okay. And I just like it just was really kind of annoying the way she was like, John, I mean, like, okay, she's lost a lot of weight in the face. And so therefore things are like, and so she looks more like than ever. And so she's just trying to convince John that what they have is special and that they need to give it another chance and that she was wrong and she did him dirty. And he's like, yeah, we've both done each other dirty. But now I'm in a good place with Julie, Tammy, Trixie, and I don't want to give it up. And I think that John makes the bravest choice that anybody who is an addict can make. He shed his tears, he got out his feelings, and then he walked away. Because he said, I can't get into that cycle again with Trixie. I mean, with Lacey, because it's a dangerous place. I'm unhealthy when I'm in it. She's a part of that negative past. Because let's be honest, she didn't do anything to provide John a space where he could heal and flourish. Now, I'm not saying it was her job to do so, but when you're dealing with someone who is an addict, I think that if you really want for them to do well, you have to kind of change your behavior with them as well. You can't be the same old person and expect them to change. And that's kind of what she did. We see him, he's putting on weight, he looks healthy, and he chose to walk away from her and try something new with somebody else. And I 100% applaud him for that, because we were there when we saw him on methadone or whatever it was to help him get off of the heroin. And he was having his confessional, and this dude got up and had to throw up because of the medication making him sick. So as trifling as he is, I want him to be healthy and happy. And if that is away from Lacey, which it should be, God bless. All right. So the next couple that we are going to talk about, Shawn and this fool. Okay, well, actually, Shawn's the fool and she's just gullible. So we have Miss Madam Sarah, who's pulling Shawn away from the picnic that she's having with her mother and daughter to tell him that she is pregnant. Now, they're going on a walk, and Shawn is really awkward. Like, we don't know why he's so awkward. At first, I think it's because he knows something is up. But then they get to this bridge, and he starts to talk about how happy he is to be with her. I mean, just a stumbling all over his words. He doesn't know what he's trying to say. She's looking at him like, what are you talking about? And we're all looking at him like he's a crazy person. And he's like, I don't know, I really appreciate you, and I like love you, Sarah, and you're just so different than anything else. And I just don't want to love. I just feel like I'm so happy that things worked out the way it's supposed to do. And then bam, he gets on his hands and knees, and she is shocked. She doesn't know what to do because she's come here to tell him that she's pregnant, and she doesn't know how he's going to react. And he produces a ring and says, will you marry me? And homegirl is like, yes, I will marry you. I'm pregnant with your baby. You're asking me to marry you. Yes. We already live together. Absolutely. So he's so happy. He picks her up, and they're in a jolly mood at this time. She is very shocked that this happened. And they get back to the picnic site, and they're about to toast it up when her mother is like, are you going to drink that? And she's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant. And she says it in front of her mother, and her mother's like, she didn't even tell him she's pregnant. Her mother is fit to be tied. Okay. And if I were her mother, I'd be mad too. I would be mad too, even though this may work out, but I would still be mad at the circumstances. And poor Abby has to find out in a way where everyone is celebrating. And I wonder how Abby really feels. Like, there's nothing else she could do. I mean, she could start crying because she is young enough to just like be like, ugh. But maybe she's too young to know like what's going on. Or maybe grandma really did fill that void. Like, the truth is that Abby doesn't know her mother. So as long as grandma doesn't have another baby and grandma's attentions are still the same, perhaps Abby is young enough to not really like feel some kind of way because grandma is really her mom. And this new person saying you're my mom is, well, she's probably has known that this person is her mother. Like that that motherly bond is most likely with her grandmother still, even though she does live with her mom. But you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's a good place for her. And so as long as Abby's happy, I'm happy. And so the next scene we have is Shawn having to tell Kelly, but he doesn't want to tell Kelly because he's a punk. He wants to tell his kids first. So the gateway is Kelly, and Kelly has changed her hair to blue. I think she saw Sarah's hair and she was like, well, I can't be a redhead anymore. I guess I'll be blue or purple, whatever it was. So he's FaceTiming Kelly, telling Kelly that he wants to talk to the kids. And she's like, well, what do you want to tell them? And he's like, that's between me and them. And she's like, what? And my thought is, why not just say, hey, Kelly, can I talk to the kids? Hey, how are you? How are things going? Can I say hi? No. He has to sabotage it for himself by telling her that he has something to tell the kids. And at that point, if I were Kelly, I would say, no, you have to tell me first. I would too. Like, there is a part of me who will never not be in Kelly's corner. And I think it's simply because she had 6 kids from him. She didn't make those kids by herself. She had 6 kids from Shawn, and he has never once proposed to her. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but if Shawn felt like Kelly wasn't the one for him, why did he keep laying with her making babies? Like, there's a point where like, one kid, I'm usually not on the mother's side. I'm like, girl, you all just made this kid together, work it out, be fair and consistent. 2 kids, I'm like, okay, y'all did it twice. Maybe you thought having another kid would make your relationship better, giving you the benefit of the doubt, but still be an adult. Don't be petty. Do whatever. 3 kids, I'm like, okay. Okay. So you thought that y'all was in a relationship or you're a fool. But 6 kids? Both of y'all is dumb. Like, and I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe it's because I will always feel like the mother has to take more responsibility than the father, but after a certain amount of kids, the father is knowing what he's doing. And that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth. And I don't mean it like that, but I have to move on because I can't really go deep into what I'm explaining. I believe that there's a certain amount of onus put on the woman because it's happening to her. 6 kids. I think Shawn owes her his life. I don't care. He owes her his life. 6 kids with 1 woman? No, absolutely not. Any more than 1? No, you owe that woman. You owe that woman because you have spent time with her. So anyways, he's on the phone and she's like, no, you're going to tell me. And then she's like, why don't you come here and visit your kids? And I don't know what he says, why he can't go there and visit the kids, but he wants the kids to come there to visit him. And Kelly doesn't want her kids going to stay in Ohio with a girl she doesn't know who is an ex-convict who used to do drugs. And I feel Kelly on that. Shawn is not the greatest judge of character. And if it were up to him and his kids meeting destiny, that's not a good recipe. So I really do feel like Kelly's in the right here. And he's like, well, Sarah can't travel because she can't go out of state. Valid claim. And so I'm like, why can't you go by yourself to see your kids? Why is it that they need to go there? You don't even have a room for them. Where are they going to sleep? He has like a 2 bedroom house, maybe 3 bedroom. Like, where are his kids going to sleep? So she's like, well, we need to hammer that out. We need to hammer out those details. I need to feel comfortable. And this whole time, Sarah's in the background listening, which I don't have a problem with. And I love the fact that Sarah didn't actually join in the conversation and put her 2 cents in, because with this matter, she has no idea what Kelly has gone through all of these years. So she cannot come in there and try to defend Shawn. But she says that she's sick of Kelly making it seem like Shawn doesn't want to take care of his kids, and that, you know, because Kelly is being the gatekeeper, that she's like inadvertently stopping Shawn from being a good father. And I wanted to tell Sarah, this man has at least 3 kids still living with their mother. He has 6 kids with this woman. And he left and moved to Ohio to be with you. Shawn is not doing or trying. Shawn is not trying. Shawn is not doing what he needs to do. Because Shawn should have stayed in Las Vegas where his kids were. And then Sarah's like, she's trying to make it seem yada whoop-de-whoop, but she doesn't stop you from sending money once a month. And I said again, Sarah, you just got here. Kelly has been laid up with Shawn for at least 10 years for them to have 6 kids. So be quiet, because you don't understand what Kelly is going through. I don't think anyone will ever understand what Kelly's going through. Yes, she's being petty. I can go on ahead and say she's being petty, but she has a right to be petty, because Shawn gets to walk away and do whatever he wants, and she cannot, because she is a woman with 6 children. And I know she's not as old as he is. I feel like Kelly might be 40. So to me, Shawn picked up a young girl and started having kids with her, didn't stop, and then stopped and moved on to marry somebody else. So Kelly can be as mad as she wants to. Anyways, I didn't like the way that Sarah was like, well, she blah, blah, blah. She acts like she's his mother. No, Shawn needs mothering, and Shawn needs to act like he's an adult who has kids. Now he has a 7th kid and a stepdaughter. The irresponsibility is astounding. Oh my gosh, there's 70 comments. What are you saying? Oof. Hi, Quasi. Hi, Serendipity. Hi, Moonchild. Hi, Linda B. Hello, everyone. Hello. Upward Hey. Hello. Hello. I mean, listen, I really do feel like Kelly thought, because she's young enough. Hi, LS and Doris Delaney. I really do think that Kelly was young enough when she started having kids that she thought eventually that her reproducing with Shawn would yield something. And it never did. There is no way that she will not be mad at Shawn for the rest of her life, because he took up her life and then walked away from her. Ra, hello. P, finally caught alive. Good for you. Okay, so moving on from this, I wish Sarah all the best, but part of me wants to be petty on Kelly's behalf and be like, you better hope Shawn doesn't move on from you, because he likes a specific kind. He likes a blanquita, he likes them small and little, and he likes to fill them with babies and then walk away. So, because don't for 1 second think that Kelly wasn't Sarah at some point. So next we're going to move on to Puppy and Amber, and we get to Kathy's house, and I'm like, whose cars are these? Sometimes when I see folks in the South that have whole homes, like just a house, and all I want is to be able to one day afford a house, and I will never in California by myself unless I like magically make 6 figures somehow. And even so, it won't be on the same plot of land. I'm like, this woman has a whole house, and this is how she treats it. She has an entire home, and this is how she treats her home that she is somehow able to afford. And it is just my hoarder nightmare. What is this? A wheelbarrow full of what? There's no grass to be had. Poor Kathy girl. So Kathy is in the back talking to Amber about Puppy, because Puppy has been picked up. She got pulled over for a busted taillight during the day, and because she had a warrant out for her arrest, they put Mama in jail. And so Amber goes to Cobb County to visit her. They won't let her. And I love the fact that Amber is just like, I'm gonna figure out what's happening with Puppy. Like, she's doing the best that she can while being on parole herself. God, do you know that Amber's on parole for 20 years? She said that she might be on parole for 20 years, but at least she's free and she's gonna make it work. You know, every time they show the place of her work, Amber's work, I just want to applaud the owners of that bar and grill for not only hiring somebody with a record, but then allowing them to be a manager and show their business on TV. Like, I don't know what kind of hustler Amber is, but if she could turn her hustler power to good, Amber could easily make a lot of money. I mean, she has turned her life around in a way by having a reality show. And even when she came out of prison, she was awkward with the reality show. But she got her a job and she took it from Vince and made it her own. Y'all, because we remember Vince? I barely remember Hercules. Okay, I barely remember him. He was on that one season. It was real awkward. And then we got introduced to Puppy. And that was it. It was Amber and Puppy. I have to admire that. So there's that. And anyways, so she's talking to Kathy about the situation. And she tells Kathy she's going to find some stuff out. And then she'll report back to her. Eric is nowhere to be found. I don't know if Puppy's been in contact with him, but Eric is not answering Amber's phone calls. And so Amber's just like, F that dude, because he needs to support Puppy no matter what if he claims to love her. So she's unable to see Puppy when she goes to Cobb County, but she got some information. And I think she's probably going to see her at another point, but she wants to give this information over to Kathy. And I think Puppy hasn't been sentenced yet, so we don't know if she has 2 years. But I've never seen someone so sad. The truth is, like, Puppy is an addict. And this is where I think that our prison systems suck, is that you've got someone like Puppy in a cycle where she's unable to get out of it. And she needs help. She needs a rehabilitation. She doesn't need to be put back in prison because you can't find her when she's on a warrant. And so we got her, and she's sitting there and she's chained up while she's talking to the producers. She's frustrated because she has no eyebrows and she's got no lashes, and she is just so sad. And she says she doesn't know that she's going to make it this time, and that she's, thought she could just do this job standing on her head, but she doesn't think that she's going to be able to. And I just feel so bad for her. I really do feel bad for Pup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want the best for all these folk. And this was a really sad scene. I just hope the best for her. I hope the best. So she started crying and said that she doesn't think she could do 2 years. And I said, why don't they just put her in some kind of program for rehabilitation? Maybe she has a little bit of freedom. She could still maybe go see her mother and have visits from Eric or whatever. If her mother's in the hospital, she's allowed to go visit him, but she has to stay at a facility, and that it allows her to work and have some, sense of freedom, and then see what happens from there. So there's that. All right. So next couple that we're going to talk about is Deontay, Tia, and this fool. So these two fools are about to get married. Puppy has 5 kids. Wait a minute. Okay. We're pausing here. Look at these little flyaways. We're pausing here to talk about the fact that Puppy has 5 kids. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. No, she does not. No, this changes everything. It's one thing if are her kids in foster care and she's fucking around with Eric and she can't keep herself out of prison. 5, even 1 would be annoying to me. Where's her kids? Where is her kids? Wait a minute. She was pregnant with her youngest when she got locked up, but she didn't know she was pregnant at first. Y'all, where are those kids? Are they in foster care? Where are those kids? I I hope they're in decent circumstances. I hope the fathers weren't addicts as well. We're all in shock versus the mom would have said something about the grandkids. I think so too. Wait a minute. Like even if it's only one, even if she has a one child, where is that child? I hope that child is not in foster care. I hope that those children are adopted. I hope they're in loving family because I'm judging Puppy hardcore if she came out of prison and can't stay out and is worrying about being married to Eric and not taking care of her kids. Now, the truth is that someone just said that Puppy sounds like a child herself and seemingly is very immature. So perhaps if her kids are in a better position with somebody else, not the state, because I don't think anyone is better in the state than with, like, I know Kathy is sick, but Kathy couldn't take one of them because I don't think anybody's better off in the state, at least from what I've seen. Whoa. Whoa. Remember, Destiny's children weren't mentioned either. Destiny had children? Girl. I listen. You know what it is? And maybe it's so close to my heart because for me, having children, I think, is a privilege. And it is something that I waited to try to do because I knew I wasn't right and I wasn't in the place to have one. Two places in my life I wasn't right to have one. And it frustrates me when women just willy-nilly produce and then cannot or don't assume responsibility for what they bring into this world. Because hey, this ain't no joke. Lives are at stake. Oh God, I can't talk about it. Let's move on. I'm getting mad. Okay, so this fool. So she got somebody to walk her down the aisle. I guess her stepfather. I guess the person who was married to her mother before her mother got with her best friend, her own best friend, not Nicole's. And we got this fool over in the corner, stalking, being awkward, like wanting to break up the wedding, but at the same time not wanting to break up the wedding. I really do feel a producer put him up to this. And then when it came down to it, they couldn't convince him to go and interrupt this wedding. And I thought it was the right thing to do. They kept alluding to the fact that, like, when it said, does anyone have any objections with this marriage, that he was just going to walk in and like interrupt the wedding. But he has more sense than that. Thank God. His mother taught him right a little bit. Thank God. Because had he gone and interrupted that wedding, I would have been so annoyed with him. It's like trumped up drama for no reason. Let these two crackheads get married. Okay. Let these two druggies get married. It doesn't matter. So, this is where the dad drops her off at the altar and Tia shakes his hand. And Tia looks like she's doing "and peace be with you" down in her, look at her hand that's not shaking. Looks like she's like giving us a Star Trek like and they get some good aerial shots of their wedding. They've got all the lighting, there's 3 people there to witness, and they're having a good time. And they go off to walk away. And as they're walking away, Deontay is hiding behind a tree and lights are on them. And Deontay is like off to the side, and these two are so happy in love, and they're walking away, and Dante's like, "Congratulations, Nicole." And it just comes out of nowhere. She doesn't even hear it because she is so concentrated on Tia, but Tia hears it. And she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And Tia's like, "What, this fool?" And Dante's like, yeah, just congratulate. They literally walk past him. He says it, they walk past him, and then he says something else, and that's when Tia turns around and Nicole realizes that Tia's stopping for a reason. And then Tia's like, no, let's hear what he has to say. And Nicole's like, no, let's go. Let's not hear what he has to say. Dante, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I don't know what he's saying, but I know he feels real dumb about it. And then Tia goes, what do you want? Like, would you want me to show up to your wedding? And he's like, I don't want you to show up anywhere where I'm at. And then I'm like, okay, Dante, you're being ridiculous. You showed up at the wedding. You're being ridiculous. So then Tia gets upset because she's drunk, because she's been drinking. So maybe she's not drunk because she's, drinks a lot, but she's already had some drinks in her because they do a shot after they get married. And then she goes to swing on this grown man. And so he hems her up, and Nicole's like, stop. And so he hems her up some more, trying to stop her. And then producers jump in to stop her. And he's just like, man, you see I ain't swing on her, right? You see I ain't swing on her because she's a girl. But he's calling her all kinds of bees and whatnot. And then he sits down and he's like, man, I shouldn't have even come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't even care about me. She's never cared about me one day in my life. In fact, she walked straight past me. That's just like a metaphor for our entire relationship. Like, she didn't even see me. She just walked straight past me. And so I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, bro, that is the smartest thing you have ever said. What are you doing? She walked straight past you. She don't even see you, bro. Got yourself in debt for no reason. None. Okay, let's move on. Also, oh wait, didn't we get that after shot of him possibly starting to date somebody else that's in prison? He just really loves to date prison girls. It is just, he's probably too socially awkward to date somebody who isn't in a confined space and low-key desperate for human interaction. Therapy. So the next couple that we're going to move on is Stan and Lisa. So Stan and Lisa have permanently gone separate ways. And in fact, Lisa is just like ready for a baptism. This hairstyle is just snatching all her little edges out, balding her in the center. But she's blessed, as her necklace would state. She's blessed. So she's in her all white, and she's in this like, country preacher, and they take her over to the baptism bath trough thing. And she's ready to, renew her relationship with Christ, and also just renew her relationship with the outside world and healing. And she says she's been out of prison for so long, and she wants to stop that pattern. And I'm in full support of anybody stopping dangerous patterns. So she lowers herself into this tub, and by the power invested in me, God and Jesus, and she gets dunked and she gets pulled back out, and she's revived. She is revived. She is revived and revitalized. And I wish the absolute best for her. But then we have trifling ass Stan. So Stan is getting ready, putting out Lunchable's finest, okay? His charcuterie board. This man is so disgusting, okay? I don't care how much money Stan has. The fact that he can't go to a grocery store to get to make him a proper charcuterie board, he's going to show up with a Lunchable, some pepperoni pieces, some strawberries, like literally 4 pieces of strawberry. And look at what looks like some Kobe Jack cheese. This man thought he was better than Lisa. He is absolutely not. Absolutely not better than Lisa. He's classless. Classless, I say. So he is inviting over Tina, who is the woman he never really stopped talking to. And this is Tina, child. Okay. So Tina comes over, and Stan says that Tina is just about the perfect woman, except for she could stand to lose a little bit of weight. The audacity. The audacity of this man. Look at this man with his comb over. She could stand to lose a little weight, my tail. Absolutely not. So, anyways, I wonder if Tina ties him up. I wonder if Tina does all those things. So let's move on. So then we have a scene with Brittany and Ray where Brittany thinks that Ray is about to propose to her, and in front of all her friends in this tacky ass dress and her sister, who he promises a promise ring. He promises to love her for the rest of his life and gives her a promise ring. And her sister is not with it. Her sister is so mad, you would think that Ray, the way her sister is mad is annoying. She's like, we're not like this. Like, this is not what we do. What? I, you know what? Culturally, I am so far away from the idea of like marriage and like what that looks like from a Southern Belle's perspective. So for me, I'm just like, if you wanted that, then you shouldn't be dating somebody in prison who works minimum wage at a warehouse. And so if this man did the best that he could, he did the best that he could. So anyway, she's upset about it. She's upset at the promise ring, and she says that that's childish and that they have already made a promise and they don't need a promise ring. What she needs is an engagement, a commitment. And this is where I got confused, because to me, an engagement ring doesn't mean commitment. Commitment means commitment. Like, I don't think acts or like jewelry or whatever means that you're committed. I think actions and actually being committed means that you're committed. So I was confused as to the signs or the gateway into what commitment means. So she then pulls him aside and basically says this should have been an engagement ring or no ring at all. And he says that he was doing what he thought he should have done or what he needed to do. And Karen, what? What? Karen, we require more. I require more. I require more information. I'm waiting. Wow. That makes me really sad because I liked Ray. Why would he cheat on her? Wow. 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 What do I search for? Brittany Love After Lockup? I don't follow any of these people on Instagram or anything. Wow. Karen came through with that. T T T T T T T T T. Wow. This man messaged a woman saying some explicit things and sent her a D picture. Whoa. You know what? Sometimes these men are unable to handle the fame that comes with being on this show. I mean, they truly aren't able to handle it. They truly are unable to handle it. I think that before you and your partner go on a show, y'all need to have a real specific conversation about internet behavior. In fact, if any man that I was dating and we were on a show, I would make him delete his IG. I would make him delete, we would have a good conversation. And I would say, here are the consequences. If you engage any one of these hoes, anyone, I'm out of this relationship, because there should be no reason why you don't come to me and say, hey, I'm starting to really feel like I want to talk to these girls because it makes me feel good. You can read a message, but you don't have to like send shit back. You read it and then block them is what you do. Feel good about that. Ooh, boobies, block. That's all you gotta do. Oh, look at them titties. Block. Hey, babe. Look at these titties. I'm a blocker, though. Block. Okay, babe? That's what you need to do. Oh, Jesus. Whoa. Okay, anyways, so She's then walking on the beach to meet with her homegirls to talk about how disappointed she is with Ray. And I can't listen, she looks good in this shot. Listen, this is a good little shot for her. Listen, look at her. She's looking majestic right here. So then Ray pops up and is like, I need to make this right with Brittany. So he goes over to her and they go on a walk and he apologizes and she explains why she's so upset about the promise ring and that they need to be engaged. And if they are engaged, then that's fine. But she's going to start planning the wedding. And he says, okay. And they walk off and he hugs her, and then they have a confessional where he says something cute to her and she begins to giggle. But I mean, at this point, now that I know that they got married and he cheated on her, I don't even want to discuss them anymore. It makes me sad. It makes me mad and sad. It makes me sad for her because she really did give us good TV. And she really did support him and provide a great home for him. And for him to dog her out like that over some tramp on Instagram, like, y'all, listen, not y'all, but y'all be in these men's inboxes. Why? Same thing with Kimberly and Uzman from 90 Day Fiance. What was Kimberly doing in Uzman's inbox? Leave that man alone. Anyways, now let's move on. So we've got our teepee time from Marcelino and Brittany. So these two have had a good night underneath the underneath the Las Vegas skies. And they get into the car and they're driving back to their house to pick up their kids and relieve her father from child duty. And so as they're driving, she brings up the fact that maybe since they're so solid in their relationship, perhaps it's time for them to explore other options. I.e., she would like to be in a threesome with Marcelino and Amanda because she can't get Amanda out of her mind. And remember 3 years ago, like Amanda was confused as to how Brittany got out of prison and low-key already had a man. And there was that moment where she made out with Amanda in front of Marcelino. And remember, this is when Marcelino was hardcore, like machismo Puerto Rican fire. Or what does Sass call him? Puerto Rican heat. You guys check out Sass Scales. She does a really good recap of this show. SASSCALES. Sass Scales. She calls Marcelino Latino heat is what she calls him. Anyways, so it kind of ruined the mood. And Marcelino didn't know really how to feel about it. He was thinking about it because he knew there was something that was a part of his wife and everything that's been going on in their lives. I think things have finally settled. And she is like, I need something else. And, not need, but want something else. And if you're down, I'm down. I don't want to ruin the sanctity of our marriage. I'm not going to leave you for Amanda, but I would love to have some fun time with Amanda. And he gets weird about it but says he'll think about it. So they get back to the house, they relieve the dad with the kids, and they go their separate ways doing their normal to-dos. Then Brittany invites Amanda over. And when she gets there, she tells her, hey, so I've talked to Marcelino about us, and if you'd be down, he'd be down. And I know that they've already hammered it all out. They've already worked through how the sex is going to work. If Marcelino's going to have sex with Amanda, if Amanda's okay with having sex with Marcelino, and what Amanda and what's her name? Brittany. How Amanda and Brittany are going to get together. So as clear-headed adults, they've all hammered it out. Marcelino is gone. These two go into the water and talk about what they are going to do and how it's going to happen and if they're down. And then Marcelino gets there and he puts his feet in the water. Girl takes off his glasses. And Brittany brings it up and is like, hey, so if you're down tonight, let's do it tonight. And Marcelino's like, down for what? What are you talking about? Wink, wink. Like, we don't already know what's going to happen. And yeah. Marcelino says, I don't know what Amanda wants. I don't know if Amanda is comfortable with me. I don't know if Amanda is attracted to me. So let's see that. And Amanda is just like, yeah, I'm attracted and it's cool. And then all of a sudden, girl, Marcelino goes in for a kiss. Look at her face. Look at her face. Like she doesn't know what to do. And then she gets some of that Latino heat. That's Amanda and Marcelino kissing. And Brittany's sitting back and she thinks it's the hottest thing that she has ever seen. And y'all, they go upstairs together. And let me tell you, this entire segment, I was like, oh. I don't know why it was like, Like, it was that for me. I don't know why. It was just, whew, you know? But anyways, so Marcelino, Amanda, and Brittany go upstairs for a threesome, and good for them. The next scene is John. John is going to do a ceremony with his friend Carrie, and Carrie is going to help John let go of the past because looks like Christiana has not come back. And I don't exactly know how long it's been. I think it's been about a month. I can't quite recall what it said on the screen, but John has to let Christiana go. And so part of that new beginning is him cutting his hair. And so they go to a park and they have a ceremony with Sage. And Carrie ends up cutting John's hair. And they wrap it in some cloth and they have another little ceremony with the hair. And that is the end. I absolutely hope the best for Christiana. I'm sad that things didn't work out. I'm sad that the call of the drugs and her need for her sister or something superseded the fact that all her mother and John want for her is the best. It's quite unfortunate. So there's that. And that is the end of this segment of Life After Lockup. I wonder if a new season of Love After Lockup is going to happen on Friday. Y'all let me know. Whew. You guys, so that's the end of this video. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah. I'm looking at comments right now. So those of you guys who are not watching this live, that's the end of the video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Please don't forget to check out my video on 90 Day Fiancé. I'll be putting them up every week. And y'all have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Okay, looking at here. The kiss was so cringe. He like grabbed her face. Brittany's doing the most with this one. If this was a man who's going to get vaginosis first. What? While clutching her pearls. 100%. 100%. They knew they had to set it up and stay on the show. Listen, I support them. I feel like the fact that Brittany and Marcelino are the only shining example from this show, you know how it makes me feel. To each their own. That just wouldn't work for me. I feel it's a recipe for cheating down the road. That is not a good color on John. I don't. That is not. I think. I hope Christiana stayed sober and just went to her sister to find her sister for her mother. I hope so too. But then why wouldn't she talk to producers, and why wouldn't producers show that? You know. Next up is Love During Lockup, right? Love During Lockup. Tell me more. Love During Lockup. So these are the people who. So are they going to get to go to the prison? Okay, I'm in. I am in. Ladero, I am in. The new version is coming in January. Love During Lockup. Oh, I'm in. John and Christiana did a live this week. Oh my God. Karen, how do you know all the tea? Karen be knowing all the tea, girl. Karen, you gotta join every live. Karen, just gotta let me know the tea, because I don't be knowing. I do not be knowing. Lynn J, hi. How are you? I think they have been having threesomes with Amanda. Ooh, good for them. I'm watching you at 3 a.m. in Tokyo. Girl, Talina, how are you? Rashana, how are you? John and Christiana have been making cameos recently together. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so happy for that. I am so happy for that. Yeah, Wah, how have you not seen the commercials? Because I don't watch the show on TV. I watch it on YouTube. Yeah, I just I don't watch it. It's easier for me to watch it on YouTube than it is to look at the show. So that's why. Cameos are that app where you can ask, like, so every single 90 Day Fiance, I feel like everybody that's on a reality show is on Cameo, because what you do, it's like a service, and they create personalized happy birthdays or personalized messages to people, and you pay a certain amount. So, like, someone, like, let's say Annie and David from 90 Day Fiance, I think their cameos are like $100 each. It might have gone up, but sometimes you start off low where you're like, each cameo is $30. And so people flood, and they're like, hey, can you say happy birthday to my friend? And then the person's like, hey, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. And then the cameo gets sent off to that friend. And if they're your favorite reality TV personality, the reality TV personality gets money. Now, let me tell you about Cameo. I talked to David from Annie and David from 90 Day Fiance. Remember when I met him a few years ago? He was telling me that he makes like $6,000 a month in Cameo. Wait, a month? Maybe I'm wrong. He makes a lot. It was like shocking the amount of money that they make a month on Cameo. And it takes nothing. Hey, John, thanks so much for being a fan of the show. Your friend Casey says it's your birthday. So I just want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for being a fan. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. $60. Like, come on now. Like, just doing that. Paul and Karini have a cameo. So these people are making money. Don't you think Marcelino and Brittany have a cameo? Pretty sure they do. Larissa, pretty sure they do. Colt and Debbie, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, I should sign up for Cameo. Did I say 6,000? Then I'm right. They make a lot of money a month. Okay, I was shocked when he told me how much he made a month. Like, I've made a huge mistake. Yeah, like, I did. Vicky! Hi, Vicky. How are you? Let's have a conversation. How's Vegas? How are you doing? I gotta go to work, you guys. I don't know why I'm up here playing. I literally have to go to work. Playing games with you guys. Okay. Yeah, I did. And she tried to explain it away a little bit by being like, when you try with somebody and they just don't get it. I think I would need Karini to go on ahead and leave Paul. If she's gotten to the place where she has to like snatch him up by his hair, then she needs to go on ahead and leave him. And maybe she doesn't have the resources to do so, and she's in school right now. There's no way she just needs to go on ahead and buckle. I mean, I could only imagine what Paul has put her through, because obviously he has some kind of neurological issues. It's never right to put your hand on anybody, especially not in the way that she snatched him up by his head and went to choke him. But if you're at your wit's end with your partner, you need to leave them. You need to leave them. So there's that. Convince Guatemalan Bay to be on 90 Day Fiance with you, and then you can get a pop cameo. No. He didn't I tell you? He broke up with me like a long time ago. Over something stupid. So we still talk, but I don't give second chances. So there's that. I'll buy a cameo from you, Wah. Aww. Girl, Vegas is cold as hell, I imagine. She's an immigrant, and they have tons of resources for immigrants, specifically if it's that bad. She has money to pay for plastic surgery. You're right. So she needs to just go. She needs to go. I don't know why they fought, but I'm just saying, like, in general, if you are to the point where you're pissed like that, then you need to go. You can't be grabbing a fool by his hair and choking him in front of his kids. I mean, at all, but you can't be doing that. So, all right, you guys, I got to go. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Y'all should watch 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days because there is a new character, much like Paul, on it, and I'm very excited to see him run around in Colombia. All right. Giselle was like, I don't give second chances. Tell us more on Cameo. I don't give second chances, girl. Like, you get an opportunity to and you don't take advantage of it because of like machismo energy, which I get. I get it. I get where it came from. But you know, I don't give second chances. And like I said, we still talk. No bad blood. None. We still talk. So reach out, see how he's doing. Because I know I'm gonna go back. I know that I'm gonna go back to Guatemala, and I don't want to like be mad at him. Like, he's a kid. I mean, he's way younger than me, but like, he's a kid, and like, you know, kids always think they got time. I'm somebody who I'm like, listen, I don't have time. Okay, you jump on the trampoline and go forward, or you don't jump on the trampoline. So that's me. You have a good one, Wine Gang. Thanks, Mickey. You have a fantastic day as well. Thanks, Ted. Hello, Ted. I've never met you. Thank you. Y'all have a fantastic day. And I'll see you guys for my 90 Day Fiance video. Okay? Bye.